All right, there we go. You know, the original plan for this truck when I started putting it together was to have a truck that could be helpful in pushing the next vehicle into the shop. We get a lot of cars and trucks in our shop that need to get pushed in, and we have a slope out in the parking lot that's just got a gradual grade to it. We have a dedicated steer, a person steering. Other times somebody's got their arm reaching through the window and the door can hit on something and that's going to scratch the paint and whatever. We're going to build a push bar on the front of this truck that's traditional to a lot of the push bars you might see on a police car or a little off-road truck of some kind. And we're going to fabricate one from scratch. I think the plan is to use diamond plate like we've used on the bed here. I'm going to use a quarter-inch
So we're going to use 1/8" diamond plate.
Quarter-inch diamond plate.
The bed is built out of quarter, but this is going to be 1/8" diamond plate.
Whatever these are called. One here and one here. Tie a couple bumpers or a couple of tubes, probably round tubes across, just like a traditional one would be. And then we'll reinforce this right in through the bumper here. There's a real nice direct shot to the frame. And then we'll have to have another one coming up from underneath to give it some more support. You want to have more than 2 attach points. You got to have at least 2 on this side, 2 on this side. Could also put a support from the top because this thing's going to come up, I don't know how high, maybe up to here, down. I'm not sure. It's going to be right about here. It'll probably be level with the hood, if not just a little higher than the hood. And that'll be the flat plate. Starts down about here and goes up. Can you see my hand? A flat plate that starts down here, goes up, maybe doesn't even conform to this too much, just has a bit of an arc and bows out like that and comes back down. So I'm just going to take a width about the size of this Sharpie, probably how far it's going to be, an inch away from the bumper, whatever that distance of that Sharpie is out to here. That's probably the widest point, and then taper it a little bit like that, coming up to an arc at the top. I guess everything's changeable, so let's just see what happens here. So then, like most push bumpers go, they have maybe some kind of a circle here. Maybe another one here. And maybe another one up here. And again, we're not using this, but we're thinking about using this out here. Can you see it? There it is. That could work. Put one there. Okay, trace the second one there. We got a good fire going today. Let's do this. Oh yeah. Rebuilt that stove a couple times over the years. But it does awesome. See what we got here. Something like that. Kind of level with that. Doesn't stick down low. Everything down here, I'm not really going to use that. You don't plan on really using it right there. The usable spots up here, probably from here up where my hands are at. So everything down here is just to be able to build off of. And we've got to think that out because maybe this does need to be longer. But we can always add. We can add this on later. It's pretty good actually, so we can try that out. Oh, this is ridiculous. So I'm trying to tape this on here. Leave a gap here. Get the angle of this right. It's kind of a mess. It needs to be up like that. It's actually looking pretty good from standing off to the side and looking at it. Tilted it a little bit out. Might need going with like this body line right here. I don't know if I want to have it parallel with that or not, but something about like that. For now, that's close enough. And we'll do one on the other side. Fortunately, tape like this is only, I don't know, like $17 a roll now for 3-inch tape. It's probably, I might be exaggerating. Maybe it's like $14 a roll. It's really expensive. How's that looking? Oh, I'm kind of liking it. It's pretty wide, don't you think? Like that's substantially wide. Let's stand back here and look at it. But it's kind of nice. Like that looks wide, but at the same time, maybe too wide is better than too narrow. Bar right across the license plate. Not the best. Another bar right above the bumper. Actually, it looks about right where that circle would be. Or maybe it's actually even up here. And then another one up here. So I think height-wise, those bars might work out. 1, 2, 3. This one is a little bit conflicting with that. It would be nice to leave that open probably. This light's been off and on all afternoon. It just started flashing on me about a half an hour ago. It blinks like five times, I think, to let you know that it's got about a 30-minute countdown. So like every 10 minutes, it gives you another 5 flashes. Really good lights. I love these lights. Now we got to remember how we're going to attach this to the frame. There's going to be a flat plate. I can put a flat plate of steel off of this. This is the top of the frame. And this is a bracket for the bumper. Can you see any of this? So that's a bumper bracket. That's basically the top of the frame. I'm gonna put a fairly thick, like more than probably at least 1/4 inch thick right there. We'll just make longer bolts that go down into the frame. There's 2 bolts down there. Cut holes in that, because that's your main force of where things are gonna go if you push straight in here. If you push up here, we're gonna have to have another attachment point at least through, man, I don't wanna cut all that stuff up. Ideally, this would be free of any supports going down. I don't wanna cut holes through the front core support. I really would like to do all that stuff down here from this point and down. That means if you're pushing the truck up here, it's gonna be really strong so that it doesn't leverage it back into the grill and the hood. Okay, gotta make a plan for that. So inside of here, I think what's gonna happen is I'm gonna put a piece all the way across the front of this and tie it together. I'll draw a picture. This is what I'm thinking. Oh, and by the way, I went and looked at the pieces of options that we have for metal. I don't have any good metal there except for this. That's just hollow square tube. We don't want that. This is actually a push bar for my tractor, which is like 1/2 inch thick by whatever, and I've got a few pieces of that. In fact, there's another one right here. So those are already spoken for. That's gonna make a grill for my tractor, which in here, those are the other bars that go along with that. There's like 6 of those. So someday I'll be doing the same thing on my tractor. But check this out. In fact, it's so hot I couldn't grab it. I can touch it, I guess. It's warm. But look at that. we are going to take those bolts out right there, two 17 millimeters. Two 17s over there. I think that's how Toyota trucks have been for pretty much forever. And we'll end up building a nice plate underneath that bracket. It'll end right about there on both sides. Yeah. Alright, this goes over here for a while. Oh, it looks so sad just laying there like that. Isn't that a funny panel on the front of these trucks? Just this weird flat panel. Look at how nice that is though. That's from 1978. It's not rusty. It's not dented. Nobody's ever hit the front end of this truck on anything. It's amazing. It still has all the original bolts in it. Obviously we replaced those headlights, but this grill's all still intact. It still has the original grill emblem. All these rings are original to this truck. I think one of them might have been missing actually. I think I had an extra and I had to add one of these on. Here's a good view of the top of the frame. So that plate's gonna land right on top of the frame. Bottom one will tie into the bottom of the frame. That's not a very wide, what is that, 3.5 inches? That might not be enough to really support this whole deal, we'll see. I might have to put a support down through the middle grill or something. We might have to notch one of these out, I'm not sure. Ah, look what I did. I put a little WD-40 on the back of each of these bolts and I took them loose. And I'm glad I did because I'm gonna have enough room in here, I think, to weasel that big piece of channel iron in here. And yeah, that's what we're gonna try. I think this is gonna work. Oh, my shop is so filthy. Let's grab this light right here. And let's go over here. We are using the big drill press. Don't get to use the drill press for out here. Showed you a video on how that works quite a long time ago. I don't even know if that's on my YouTube page or not. I think it is. But yeah, this thing will not pass a couple of OSHA inspections, if you know what I'm saying. Look at this amazing thing. This is just a drill chuck. It's been hanging up here for years, but this one will actually, I don't even know if this works, but we're gonna try it. This still works. Acts like it still works. We're gonna try chucking this up into here because it's got the right collar with the flat spot on that all these drill bits have, but I don't have a 1/2 inch drill bit that does this. But I do have a 1/2 inch drill bit that does this. So I'll be right back. My shop is so cluttered. I am embarrassed. But I'm tripping through this project and we are going to clean it afterwards. Here we go, watch this. Check that out. It's not spinning very true. That's a work of art right there. Well, we're back to plan B. No, we're back to plan A. Plan A was to drill those big chunks of metal with a cobalt drill. And using a drill bit that is awesome. These are awesome drill bits. They're stepped. Can you see that right there? These things are stepped and they're awesome. If you want to drill through a truck frame or something substantial, this bit will do it. Now I will say this bit's also kind of worn out. So that's why I was really anxious to get it put on a drill press and just put some weight into it. Let's see what happens here. Let's just see how this goes. Yeah. I'm gonna get some glasses on. All right, we got that thing charging for a minute. I didn't even remember that being so dead, so we'll give that a bit to charge, come back and drill these out. I might end up welding these on the truck now. Look at how fast that thing, look at how fast that thing drilled through there. I mean, I should have done this to begin with. I thought the drill press would kind of have to be used. It's actually all the way through at the tip, almost poking through right now. 3 inches out from here. That's gonna put our push bar close enough together to look proper and still function really well. So I'm gonna weld these on right now and just get it done with. Okay, well, I'll be real honest. I got these things drilled out and they turned out super nice. But I did not use any of the methods I thought I was going to use to drill those holes out. That little DeWalt, what is this, Ryobi, cobalt. My cobalt drill is hating life right now. I tried 3 or 4 different drill bits to get through that. It was a train wreck. Those step bits are awesome, but mine are right now. I've got 2 of them that are worn out and I was trying things that I wouldn't even want to show you to get holes through there. And then I finally just used a Dremel tool or that thing right up there to finish getting those holes. They turned out super nice, but they are welded on in place, and then we'll move on next to the rest of this masterpiece. All right. Straight. I like it. Let's tack it up. All right, there's a tack weld on each one.
So I hope Iowa State wins this game because
perfectly straight,
all
so
the
I'm really
right
happy
things had
about
to
that.
happen this past weekend to get
I'm
into
gonna
the
take it apart and weld it all up.
Colorado had to lose.
with Ole Miss. So if you're an Ole Miss fan, then you're used to it.
But he's not spot.
He's actually too low by $40.
That plays a big spender. It's clearly the top fuel mill getting to him. This thing is $87.33. By Sheriff Loomis.
All right, well, here we are to the end of the project. As far as I'm filming, the next step on this is going to be to take it back off the truck, take a flapper disc and grind all these sharp edges down. I'll send this out and get it powder coated. I'm going to end up welding a strip on here that can accommodate a rubberized, like 1.5 inch wide strip, so that when you do push against another car bumper, it will not hurt that bumper. And then we'll get it powder coated just like we did on the bed. I think it's going to be black powder coating with this gray and black kind of a textured surface. That's probably going to be on there. And then we'll probably highlight it in some orange or something like that. But anyhow, thank you very much for watching. This thing turned out super strong. I mean, I guess time will tell, but this thing it don't flex, it doesn't move. You're going to be able to push anything you want to. I'm not going to ram anybody with it. That's not the point. The point is to gently get up against the car and be able to push it on a slippery road, or chain this thing up this winter so we can use it in our parking lot, because it's very difficult in that parking lot with no options. All right, thanks for watching.